Good morning, children. So, children, in our last class, we have discussed till October Revolution. I hope it was been clear to you all. Now, today we will move on to what changed after October. Okay. So, after October Revolution, what changes took place? Let us see. That is, the Bolshevik were totally opposed to the private property. They want that all the property should come under the control of the government. That is, the government will took over the ownership and all the management. Clear? And they were in support of socialism. That is, they want that land should be declared as social property and peasants were being allowed to seize the land of the nobility who had taken land from the poor peasant. Clear? Now the Bolshevik later was been renamed as the Russian Communist Party, and in November 1917 the Bolshevik they conducted the election, but they failed to gain the majority support from the people, and in January 1918 the assembly was been rejected. That is, assembly rejected the Bolshevik measure and Lenin dismissed the assembly, and in March 1918 the Bolshevik made alliance with Germany at Brest-Litovsk. Clear? Now, the Bolshevik became the one party to participate in the election to the All-Russian Congress of Soviet, which has become the parliament of the country. Now, the Russia has become a one-party state out there. Clear? Now, the trade union were kept under the party control. That is, the party was having a stronghold in the trade. Now, the secret police were called the Ch-2 first, and later it was been named as OGPU, and NKVD was been formed. And what they used to do is that they used to punish to those who used to criticize the Bolshevik. And many young writers and artists were being attracted towards the party because they want socialism and they want some new thing to be implemented. That is, they want change. Clear? Now, after October Revolution, there was a period of civil war because Bolshevik were bordering the area of the Russia which was not been favored by the people out there, because they had a kind of anti-religious sentiment for some of the religion. So those things basically said that the southern part of the Russia, which was basically influence of other nation, and some of the nation who were fearing the spread of socialism across the other countries were promoting those regions to speak against the Bolshevik. So all this lead to a kind of civil war in Russia. That is, in Russia, civil war occurred between red and whites. Red were the Bolshevik and white were the Menshevik. And the civil war was been from 1917 to 1922, and about 20 to 30 lakhs of people lost their life. Now the whites were being formed, or we can say consist of the supporter of monarch, landlord, aristocrat, clergy and Menshevik. They does not want the private property to come under the government control, as because they were against it. They were being supported by UK, France, USA, as because they were against socialism and they do not want socialism to be established. So, they formed the troops to fight against the Red Army. That is, during 1918 to 1919, White had controlled most of the Russian Empire. So during this civil war between white and red, there was a lots of looting, banditry and famine occurred. Clear? And winter was harsh during that time. And the Bolshevik, who were controlling most of the Russia, were being asked by the non-Bolshevik authority to give a kind of political autonomy, or or we can say a kind of control against the Bolshevik government. So in 1922, Bolshevik basically discouraged and they were against the nomadic people who were working there. Clear? And all this has led to a huge turbulence within the society. So during this time, the land that was being occupied was mainly under some kulkas. Now, who were the Kulkas? Kulkas were the people who owned a part of the land, that is a huge patch of land, and they used to buy the grain from the small landowner. And what they used to do is that they used to keep it, speculate the price. That is, whenever the stock used to be less, they used to take it out, the kept over stock, and they used to raise the price. And there was a kind of price hoarding which ultimately took place. Clear? And this led to the rise of price. So, after the death of Lenin, Stalin, who was a major proponent of it, has started with the idea of collectivization. Clear? Now, after Lenin, who comes is the Stalin. Clear? So, he said that there would be no kulkas anymore and all land would be collected and kolkhoz would be formed. That is the common farming or a common land. Clear? And whatever profit would be earned would be distributed equally among everyone for each farm. That means whatever profit is been earned from the each farm, it should be distributed equally. So each person would get equal amount. Clear? So in each farm, that means whoever was working in the farm, everyone should be benefited from that. So this was some of the development that took place under Stalin. And the process of collectivization started, and some other things were also been implemented, that was centralization of growth. So economic growth, economic prosperity became the focus. Cheap access to the medical facility was also being done. Great facility in the factories and working place was being established. Confiscating the land where collectivization was not taking place, and modern living quarter was also being established, as the facility was being given to the worker also. So these are some of the development that took place during that time. Now, what was the global influence? As we saw, Russian Revolution brought changes or brought communism, not only in Russia, but there was Communist Party of Great Britain, and many of the region has formed, that is, the many of the regions they had found Comintern, that was an international union of pro-Bolshevik Socialist Party. Clear? Who were basically supporting the idea of Bolshevik and Lenin. Clear? Now, in Indian opinion, you have M.N. Roy, who was an Indian revolutionary who founded Mexican Communist Party, and he was a prominent Comintern leader in India, China and Europe. And even you have view of Jawaharlal Nehru and Tagore, and in Hindi you have R.S. Avasthi, who has written about Russian revolutions and also about the Lenin life through and is the Red Revolution he has written. And even S.D. Vidyalankar, he has also written about the rebirth of Russia, of the Soviet state of the Russia. Clear? So children, we have completed our chapter Socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution. So I hope you have understood it. So you must go through your chapter. If any doubts, you could ask me. Thank you.